Trump-hating judge busted. We've already been following Judge Juan Merchan, the judge presiding over the Trump prosecution witch hunt, and there were some rumors that maybe he had some bias in his history, making some donos to candidates that were Democratic candidates, or maybe having a relationship with his daughter, which is normal, father-son, that's okay. But this was a situation where the daughter was volunteering for a bunch of Democrats, and we start asking ourselves, is that appropriate? Should this judge recuse himself? Some people like Ashley Moody from Florida say yes. Others like Christina Wong over from Breitbart say these might be ethical violations. But the government and a lot of the media was trying to hide this for a while. No. This case against Donald Trump is perfectly legitimate. Everything's above board. There's nothing to worry about. He's actually an unethical monster and he's a criminal and all this stuff. Well, now even CNN can't hide it. And it's not a big dono, but it's still a dono. CNN says a $35 political contribution to Democrats raises fresh scrutiny over Judge Merchan. This was published by CNN. They tell us the judge overseeing the criminal case donated $35 in political contributions to Democrats in 2020, including $15 to Donald Trump's opponent, President Joe Biden. And I know that it's just $15. I know it's just $10. It's $35 total. But you know, it's still a big pain in the butt to go onto the website and to get out your credit card and to put the whole thing in there and to say, I support Joe Biden and I hate Donald Trump. And he's very angry. You know, if you're making a $15 dono, you're just like, it's a spite dono. You know, you can't even do anything with $15. If you really want to make a mark in the campaign, you donate the limit. But this is just visceral. It's just like, ugh. He's probably sitting there. He's like, I know I'm a judge. I shouldn't be doing this. It's only $15 though. Nobody's ever going to know. I'll just do it. And then boom, unethical. Trump's case already lands in his court. And we've already seen this judge be very hysterical, in my opinion, about some of the other postures of other cases that have landed in front of him, in particular, the Allen Weisselberg CFO case. He's just outraged that there could be this, maneuvering of taxation in New York in his court. And you ask yourself, would that same hyperbole, would that same hyperventilation come out if it was not a Trump acolyte? No, of course not. So CNN is even acknowledging that the political donations are undoubtedly small, but they nevertheless raise questions about his impartiality. Trump says he's a Trump-hating judge. Now, there's somebody who is a senior CNN legal analyst on CNN, whatever that means. Eli Honig, former federal prosecutor, says, yeah, the amounts are minimal, but it is surprising that a sitting judge would make political donations of any size to a partisan candidate or cause. Man, that must have hurt, huh? For CNN to have to say that on the air? Yikes, that stings. That prosecutor is probably fired now. All right, according to FEC records, Merchan made 3 donations in July 2022 over to Act Blue, an online fundraising platform for Democrats. He contributed $15 marked for the Biden campaign and made 2 $10 contributions, one earmarked for the Progressive Turnout Project. Gross. And another voter outreach project, and another one to Stop Republicans. Oh, a subsidiary of the Progressive Turnout Project. You're kidding me. So the judge who's prosecuting Donald Trump donated to Stop Republicans? That's great. That's weird because Donald Trump happens to be a Republican. He's running as a Republican for the presidency. He's kind of in a good position then to stop Republicans, and he's going to have a lot more power than his $10 dono. Another legal ethics professor called Stephen Gillers said that New York, like most jurisdictions, has adopted language from the American Bar Association, which prohibits judges from soliciting funds or paying for, making assessments to any political organizations or candidates. Not supposed to do that. The contribution to Biden and possibly the one to Stop Republicans would be forbidden unless there's some other explanation for this. Fast forward, there isn't. But Gillers said that the donation would be viewed as trivial, given the small sums. If a complaint's made, they would just remind the judge, hey, remind the judges about your, don't donate to political causes. Would this be a basis for a recusal? Giller says, no, absolutely not. This does not come anywhere near the kind of proof required for a recusal. No, of course not. Why would it? It's only Republicans. He only donated to Trump's opponent of the 2020 race, very likely opponent in the 2024 race. And he also donated to Stop Republicans, the party of which Donald Trump belongs. Great. Neat. Trump has been attacking Merchan and his family. He's been calling out these claims. You understand that highlighting the potential conflict of interest, which appears to be a lot of in this case, is reasonable criticism. It's totally legitimate. It is not an attack. Now, including his daughter, who works for a political consulting firm who was working for Biden's vice president and the Biden campaign, in particular, Kamala Harris's campaign. That's legitimate criticism. It's not an attack to say, hey, there could be some political partisanship here. There could be a little bit too much close proximity between this judge and a lot of other partisan efforts. Trump has complained about Merchan for presiding over the case. Well, is it legitimate? Certainly looks like there may be some concerns here. Just put the hat on the other foot. Swap the parties. Put a Democrat in here with a Trump judge and a bunch of Trump donos and Trump and the daughter's judge working for Trump. And see if CNN would call it an attack then, if there was criticism about that. John Miller reports the New York Police Department is tracking numerous threats. Great. Has not seen any specific or credible threats. Of course not. Nobody's attacking him. They're saying that this is a legitimate bias. It's a partisan problem. Maybe there are concerns here. You're allowed to talk about this. An attorney for Trump on Thursday condemned those making threats. So do I. Nobody wants this judge attacked or anybody attacked. We never call for violence here. We never want anything even remotely close to that. It's actually counterproductive, as we're seeing. You don't even have to think about violence and they'll charge you for it. So told CNN the threats were appalling. They condemned the behavior. Nicholas also declined to comment on the donations. He donated to Joe Biden's campaign. Somebody else said he should get off this case, said Mike Davis. He actually donated to Biden. And another CNN analyst said this was an unforced error for Merchan. He's got a reputation for being fair, but yeah, this is kind of an unforced error. Now, you see that when you go over to the FEC, that the donos are there and they are public and available. You can click over to the website and see them right now. And you'll do that. You'll see here are the excerpts. Juan Merchan, Judge. All of the donos were in July 27th, 2020. $10, $10, $15. All went over to Act Blue. And there were questions about where they went. But as you know, one of them went to Stop Republicans. And surely that doesn't lead to any bias. Now, there's more. There were some rumors that potentially the judge's daughter was involved in some political affairs. And I wanted to share this tweet thread with you. Excellent thread assembled by Mia Cathell. And you can follow her at Mia Cathell, Miacathell, investigative reporter from Town Hall, also a news editor for the Post Millennial. And her last name is pronounced Kuthel. My apologies, Kuthel. So this is what she assembled for us, and it is very nice summation of this. She dug up the FEC filing report. One donation earmarked for Biden 2020. Second donation pledged to a PAC that rallies voters to turn out for the Dems. And the third went to Stop Republicans, which is dedicated, she looked it up, to, quote, resisting Trump and the GOP. Interesting. So that's fun because this judge is presiding over a case where he has unlimited power over Trump as the judge in the case. Might be a problem. Now, small little donos, $35, but he's still making them and he's still pretty angry on that July day. Now, his daughter, as you'll see here, according to Mia, previously worked for Kamala Harris and her presidential campaign as director of digital persuasion. according to her now deleted LinkedIn page, which also listed her pronouns. Now, she is an adult person, as you can see, was all over LinkedIn until this became public. Here was what her profile looked like. She is a political activist, and she is actively involved in politics. Partner president at Authentic Campaigns. Guess what Authentic Campaigns does? Digital persuasion. You see this down here at the bottom. Kamala Harris for the people. February 2019 to 2019, 11 months. Director of Digital Persuasion for Kamala. Authentic Campaigns in the time after that, 5 years and 1 month. Absolutely partisan. And it continues. Here's a video of Kamala being greeted by supporters, and it autoplays on her company's page. This is what she started. Authentic Campaigns, president and partner. It says that throughout her career, Democrat up here, throughout her career, Lauren has fought hard to get results, not just for her clients, but for the industry as a whole and the people who work in it. Her work is setting new benchmarks and winning elections. In addition to doing groundbreaking historical work for clients like Jon Tester, Kamala Harris, Adam Schiff, and others, Authentic Campaigns is now setting new industry standards through its commitment to diversity, transparent compensation, employee benefits, and more. Lauren is working to transform the industry by developing new best practices for the work we do for our clients as well as the work we do for our people. That's great. So she, and that's fine that she's in this wheelhouse, but that is close by. Here is the video. Kamala Harris is right on the landing page. Authentic Campaigns. Kamala Harris is right there. So the family's a bunch of Democrats. The daughter has worked for Democrats. Father has donated to Democrats. And they are presiding over the political prosecution of somebody they hate and have worked actively against many times. So the question is, why is that appropriate and how is that ethical? Christina Wong over from Breitbart did the digging on some of these statutes and says, yeah, this could be grounds for an ethical investigation. Said that the judge overseeing this person Trump's case may have violated section 100.5 of the New York Judicial Conduct. Sitting judges cannot directly or indirectly engage in any political activity. He's been a judge for a long time, should know that. The New York State Advisory Committee and their yearly handbook makes this clear. Says the following: a sitting judge may not make political contributions at any time, even to a U.S. presidential candidate or a federal congressional candidate outside of the state. Sorry. ABA says the same thing, but he made 3 donations to this. Gosh, man, if he were in New York and not a judge, maybe he'd be prosecuted for some sort of crime. Did he report this in his ledger somewhere? As an inappropriate donation? Was this a tax donation? Did he do something illegal with this? Where are the prosecutors investigating him? We heard from Alvin Bragg, this is the financial capital of the world, and we can't let anybody do anything that's financially inappropriate or unethical. Well, this judge is making donos. How did he donate it on his taxes? Was this a charitable contribution? I mean, if we're going to play this stupid game, we can do it. On July 27th, he donated $10 and others. And of course, the rest of the commentary came over from CNN. Even they're saying, might not be so good. And other attorney generals in other part of the country are asking about this as well, saying, this is a pretty big problem. Judges shouldn't be doing this. Maybe this justifies a disqualification. This is the attorney general from Florida, Moody, saying that is appropriate. Alvin Bragg and the judge presiding over the Trump prosecution gotta go.
I would not be surprised, and President Trump mentioned this last night, if there's a motion to disqualify this judge. There's some indication that his daughter had worked for Kamala Harris, that her firm had consulted with Schiff. So these are all things that go to whether or not this is a legitimate prosecution or whether this is politically motivated. And I think the president did a great job laying that out last night.
Yeah.
And we'll see if anything happens. Very unlikely, because we know there's only one standard that applies in this country. It's the one that ruins the Republicans. Any MAGA, ultra extremist or whatever they get thrown by the wayside. Democrats get a free pass every time we look at it. And so that's Judge Juan Merchan. We'll see if there's anything else that percolates out of that one in New York.